When do we talk about the fucking shows and movies?
Thanks for the F shot.
I don't know, but his arm got chewed up.
Show me what you got.
We'll drink it if you say.
Welcome to today's episode of Wasted Opiniones. We're going to be doing one of our in-sequence Marvel reviews of the next one in the sequence. Deadpool versus Wolverine?
And
Wolverine?
yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, number 3.
Huge fans.
Deadpool ampersand
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, come here. We'll give you all the spoilers.
Was it really 9%?
Yeah.
Okay.
And percent. With me today I have some people that like Wolverine and Deadpool.
It's true.
You jump on it.
We did a versus one time. One of our Halloween
Let's go first.
Who would win?
Somebody
Deadpool
jump on
versus
first.
Wolverine.
Somebody
That's
jump
right.
on it first.
I'm just saying.
Whoever likes Wolverine first,
trying to
most
do.
introduce yourself
Let's
first.
fucking go. I'm Lee
That's what I was
LewisLightning.
trying to do.
LewisLightning. Nice.
The LewisLightning.
Yeah.
LewisLightning.
I was just trying to bring it back to one of our older episodes where we did a Deadpool
Which-
versus Wolverine.
It's up in this corner.
it's
I
a
think.
versus. It'll be up in this corner here. My corner.
Who are you?
I am CountryBoy! And I'm like this guy. I'm Country Wolverine. You know, I got the healing factor. I got the claws. I want to pop them out right now because I don't want to hurt somebody.
And I'm probably the closest you got to Deadpool in this group, MussKeg.
Yeah, that charisma really sold it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm probably.
Really? I'm gonna say, I don't know.
Were you like Rain?
He's like the short Wolverine.
You're like the dude from The Office.
He's the height accurate Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The 5'3" Wolverine. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
thank you. Yeah, I'm tiny. I'm the smallest now. We got a shot we're gonna do first.
All right.
I know, must get consistent.
I've been waiting for this all day.
Some Wayne Gretzky's.
You know what? They're both Canadian. We got a Canadian drink.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Thematically, it works.
That's what we're going for.
So, we've all seen it. It's new, so it'll get a ton of views.
Your
for this
grandma's
channel.
seen it. Everybody's fucking seen it.
My wife hasn't.
Number one R-rated movie of all time, or for gross box.
How do we want? What do we want to do? How do we want to get into this? Do we want to just start spewing our load and talking?
First of
about
all,
it?
we reviewed Logan. That's up here. We also reviewed the 2 Deadpool movies. That's up here. Check those out.
Yeah, right
Then
here,
come
too.
back to here.
Yeah, and then know that
We're gonna do the X-Men stuff.
I think of the 3
Spoilers.
Deadpool movies, this was my favorite.
Spoilers. Big spoilers. We're going to talk
yeah.
about some spoilery shit.
Spoiler.
You can't talk about this movie without saying some spoilers because there's so much fucking spoilers in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And having said that, this was my favorite Deadpool movie.
It
Mine
might
as-
be.
mine
It
as
might
well.
be. I'm torn between one and this one.
Fucking purist, hey. Oh, but one was so original.
I'm torn between one and this one, I said. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I said between one. That was so original.
Okay, maybe we'll get into it. We'll get to
All
why.
right.
We'll get
Okay.
to
Well,
why.
I think 3.
One
So,
is, yeah.
we won't get into the plot here. We're just gonna start talking about what we liked about this Deadpool movie, some of our favorite spots. That's what the spoiler alert's in effect. Little background. This is the first R-rated movie in the MCU history.
Yeah.
Deadpool previously was in the Fox universe, so had not been in the MCU.
Yeah.
Huge points when it comes to this movie because it's a very key theme throughout the movie.
Good for Disney for doing
And
this.
for a movie that breaks the fourth wall, or for a character that breaks the fourth wall, that comes up a decent amount.
A lot.
Let's just say that.
Oh, a little too much.
No,
You asked me.
just enough if you ask
You
me.
asked me.
A fan of this movie.
I'm a fan.
So, I don't know. Initial thoughts. Lou?
It was like of all the mix-ups I want to see for like superheroes. This is a dream come true of Deadpool and Wolverine because like there's a few guys I'd like to see Wolverine tangled up with, and none of that's come to fruition yet in live action. Aside from this now, and it like hit all the right beats. It brought in like they have multiple fights, so it's not like there was just one climactic thing it built to. Like no, there was several, and it was not hold back. And I think in this one, Hugh Jackman is at his most
You jacked, man.
most bestial fighting techniques and stuff too.
You like
compared to
that too,
everything
I
else.
mentioned, yeah. I'm thinking one thing that sticks out to you is in the first fight in like the one where he's like comes flying along
Comes
the ground.
flying on
like
the ground.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
fucking good. So I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys have
no,
stuff
that's
to
good.
say?
Yeah, no, this one was amazing. The callbacks to so many movies that we'll probably get into.
Yeah.
There are so many callbacks to like dead franchises. There's so many callbacks. There's callbacks to even the MCU stuff. So it's like an homage basically to like Fox stuff plus. I guess what was Blade? I said Blade was in it.
New Line
Sorry.
Cinema.
Yeah.
New Line Cinema. Yeah. So there's homages to that. It's just all of that stuff. It's like if you are a fan of the Marvel movies ever since 1998. And you've been watching them since. This is a big homage to you. You're gonna love the stuff that they put into this movie.
This was a fan service movie.
100%.
You know what it reminded me of? Not in any like specific way, but do you remember how when you watched Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and how you're like, this is what we wanted from Star Wars. We wanted this. We wanted that. We wanted.
I didn't think that.
I know he.
I know I did. I know I did. But and a lot of people did.
Yeah.
It was fan service at its finest. It gave us everything, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but it gave us everything we actually wanted in the movie. Mm-hmm. So that's why I appreciate it from that perspective. So, fan service at an amazing level. So we got our opinions there, just general ones. Let's talk about some of the cameos.
Get into the
Yeah,
nitty-gritty.
spoiler alert.
We've said it before.
But let's talk
Spoiler.
about some of the cameo things that we liked and why we liked him. And I won't go first. I'll
Yeah,
let
you'll
somebody
go.
else go.
So first,
Well, you're from my left.
You're the biggest Marvel fan out of the three of us. I'll say that. Okay, we didn't know that.
Still saying
He's the biggest comic book fan out of the three of us. Oh,
I
whatever.
mean, I'm gonna love seeing Blade in that, that he's back,
Wesley Snipes.
because they already, I don't know if it's gonna even work out, but they've allegedly cast
Mahershala
a new
Ali.
person,
Yeah.
for as the Blade.
That one surprised me the most.
That's
I
in
think
limbo for how many years already?
That was the cameo that surprised me probably the most.
I
Was
was
Blade,
gonna say,
actually.
I like that he's in it, but that didn't surprise me the most. The one that surprised me the most was Elektra, Jennifer Garner
Really?
coming back.
Really?
Why would she come back? Just she did one action movie. Well, I mean two.
She was in two. She was in Daredevil
And
and Elektra,
Elektra, but
which is like a
it's-
spin-off of Daredevil.
But it's not really her thing. And
Yeah.
so why did she want to come back, get into all the trend? It just doesn't seem like.
It's all about the
Well,
money,
but the point,
money.
the reason I found the Blade one more is they're planning to make a new Blade. So why would they bring back old Blade when they're about to?
And what's even crazier is that
Blade
him and Ryan Reynolds worked together on Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
And they fucking hate each
Oh,
other.
that's probably the main reason they brought it back. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes complete
I'm
sense.
going to bring one more, and I was going to say Pyro. That he actually kind of a bigger.
Didn't even recognize
role.
the guy. He's like, why is
I
this?
recognize
Who is
him
this
off
guy?
of that.
I hate that so much of it was spoiled for me. Like I would go on Twitter, I'd go on YouTube, and I couldn't even avoid it. Just there'd be an image from the movie. I'm like, fuck, come on, the movie just came out yesterday. Why are people spoiling it? So I knew Blade was in the movie. Doesn't change the fact that I still thought it was awesome he was in there.
Yeah.
And I knew that Pyro was in there. I think they kind of teased that a little bit. I knew Sabretooth was in it as well too. And so there's some things I was like, I wish I had that impact of not knowing. And then I came into the movie, I was like, fuck, that's awesome. They brought them back in.
Yeah.
I'll say, I know you knew this
I'll
one
bring
too.
up. You know which one I'm gonna bring up.
I'll say it right now.
Yeah.
Gambit. I didn't know that Channing
So-
Tatum was going to be in this movie. And I was like, because it's been 10 years since they announced
Yeah.
a Gambit.
So that
movie.
was my biggest spoiler.
That
was
was-
the Gambit one.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know about Blade. I knew about Sabretooth, but it didn't affect me. Gambit being in it was the one I was like, fuck. Okay, all right, Gambit. There you go.
That, and you know what I loved about it, and I didn't love about it, is he was kind of played off as this comedic. It was like you couldn't understand what he was saying. I wish he was a little more serious, Gambit, and he didn't quite look like Gambit. He's got more of a bigger face, but
face.
still, I thought he did an awesome job.
love the
I
comedic
loved
of it.
seeing Gambit in live action. I know we've already seen Taylor Kitsch as Gambit in the Wolverine.
Yeah, don't remind me.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I can't fault Taylor Kitsch. I thought he did a good job. It was just the movie itself wasn't great. But anyways, I thought having Gambit, that was so cool. He's
Okay.
next to Wolverine. He's one of my favorite X-Men. I'd say. He's up there.
I would say this. You watch what he was like in a fight scene. I want more Gambit.
Yeah.
Out of all the cameos
He
in this
survived.
movie, the one I want
He
to see the
survived.
most. Yeah, I know. I want a Gambit movie with him. I don't care if it's gonna be bad.
I
Give
don't know
me
if I want with
Gambit.
him,
I don't know. I think he did a good job.
He did, yeah.
I don't know. I think there could be better though. That's just my thing.
I get.
And what's crazy is that it's not a returning character. That's what I like about too.
Yeah.
It was a character that we just been
So-
teased for fucking ever.
So here's what I'm gonna say. My favorite cameo, surprisingly, wasn't Gambit, even though I think about it the most. I loved when Chris Evans showed up.
Yeah.
And and you know why I'm going to say I loved it. Everybody's watching this, and they did it so well.
I called it.
Like,
Like,
I know,
I know,
I'm sure Lewis
he's gonna
did.
say flame.
But they did it so well, and he does this thing, and I was expecting a joke as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what the joke was going to be. And when he drops down and he does his thing, and you think he's going to say his iconic line of assemble or something.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, Avengers
Deadpool
Assemble.
says,
And then all of a sudden he says flame on. Because I hadn't thought about, they're going to go and start bringing, like, Fox stuff into this.
Yeah.
Like, Chris Evans as fucking Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and not Captain America in an MCU movie is fucking primo comedy.
Yeah.
It's done so well.
It was.
Especially since they've actually already cast, like, Johnny Storm, Human Torch in the MCU, with which I think is a great casting. Jonathan Quinn from Stranger Things.
I do like, yes.
So, love the Gambit one. I liked it, I think, more than both of you guys, actually. I know that he was being really goofy, but he was told to be goofy.
I know. I just wish he was more of the Gambit that...
Yeah.
and you can quote me on that.
So, and Gambit's look, if you look
yeah,
at...
that was great.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, then. He says everything about fucking Cassandra fucking... Oh, that was awesome. He says everything word for word. You can quote me on that. What? I never said any of that. What are you talking about?
Some really good ones. Also, some returning ones that I liked. Peter being back was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
There's lots here.
There is. Even Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Which I will lead into... Sorry, if you want to say something.
Oh, I was going to say there's a whole bunch more, but they're not that big.
Which I will lead into some of the problems that I had with this movie is... Because Sabretooth was back, I was like, oh, this would be so cool to have Wolverine fighting Sabretooth one-on-one, really good. Like, not... In the first movie, it was an okay fight. It wasn't great. They were on the Statue of Liberty. It wasn't iconic. I was like, they're going to have this awesome battle.
Yeah, Lee Schreiber outside the bar.
And I actually like Lee Schreiber, but that's fine. I like the more iconic look of Sabretooth.
Yeah.
But, I'm just saying, one of the problems I have with this movie is what they did with Sabretooth. Is the quick one swipe kill. They did it with a few people.
Yeah.
And they just quickly got rid of somebody. Like that. They did that even with Johnny Storm. Fucking just stripped him of his skin, killed. Juggernaut was killed really quickly. They did that with Pyro. She just snapped his neck. I was like, okay, they did it too many times.
He at least got to show off his power when he took that.
He did at least get to do that. I know. I didn't even like that because I was like, fight him on, and all of a sudden it's like,
it should have had like a little bit of flow to it. But
let him lose something before you do that. So that was one of my nitpicks. It's a nitpick. It's not like I hate the movie. It's a nitpick.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, there's also Toad in it.
Yes,
Lady Deadpool, who's played, well, I guess she's voiced. She's not played
well,
by...
hold on. We can't even talk about the Deadpool. Like, the whole fucking army of Deadpool.
Oh, yeah, we're going there now. That's Blake
I
Lively.
was going to say, because it's supposedly Blake Lively's doing the voice for her, but like, she talks for like 2 lines or something. There's not much to that.
No.
We got Laura Kinney as X-23. She comes back. Like from Logan, which was a big thing.
Which actually they did a good job of like playing on the emotionality.
Did you see like some of the recasting they did some characters? Like they did have the Russian.
Yeah, they did Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash wasn't the Russian. It was Kevin Owens actually, another wrestler.
Really?
Was that Kevin Owens?
That's what I heard. I heard it was Kevin Owens.
Well, shouldn't you be able to tell from the look?
I don't know.
You would think he doesn't look chubby like Kevin Owens does, but that's apparently what he was. The dude, there was supposed to be Bullseye. It was like a black dude in a trench coat. He had the Bullseye symbol like he did from Daredevil. He was in there as well.
I think there's a lot of things you could have missed in this
Lady
movie
Deathstrike, she was also
There's
in there.
one more. I'm going to save it for the end, though, because it's a big thing.
I'm going to say ones that
to
I don't know if you really noticed because they didn't really have a big moment.
Okay, we can bring that up as a thing. Here's a thing that I like. I want to bring up about the movie. I thought they did a fantastic usage of music in this movie. You know, John hasn't complained about this, but I think it was okay.
It's one of my nitpicks.
Hell's Bells playing at the start of the Wolverine fight versus Deadpool. That was fantastic. And yeah, I could have went longer, but hey, fucking Madonna's
Can I just say why my nitpick for that one is? I love Hell's Bells. I love AC/DC. I just wish they didn't break it up.
That's like, I agree with him on that.
I wish they would have just kept playing the song. Maybe let it go a little softer, then bring it back up as they're fighting.
Fair enough, yeah.
Not stop it. And then let it go.
Probably
That was my
cost
only
more,
nitpick. Again, a nitpick.
And Madonna's like a prayer during the Deadpool
When
army
his shirt
fight
rips
scene.
off and you just see his abs.
Dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
man.
And
got a little
even
wet.
at the beginning, Bye 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 NSYNC, which
See, I
has a
hated that
tie-in.
one. I fucking
No,
hate
I know
that.
you don't. But it had a tie-in because Celine Dion did the Ashes in Deadpool 2. That was her song.
Okay.
And in the music video, at the very end, she gives this DVD. He's like, "You did it. That was amazing. That was like an 11. We're gonna need you to bring it down to like a 5, maybe 6 best." And she's like, "This only goes to 11." And he goes, "Ah, I should have got NSYNC." So I know why you didn't like that. And
Why?
because it felt like a cheesy buy, right? Like a
just felt
cheesy,
like
cheap laugh.
No, it just felt like it was stuck in
Cheap
the
laugh.
90s, and I really don't go with the 90s stuff a lot. I was like, I just felt
Came
dated.
on the 2000s.
It felt dated in the movie that just came out, so.
I liked it.
Yeah. But you know, there's lots of other ones. But I thought they did a great job of using music in this.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And which song was it when they were fighting in the fucking Honda there?
Grease, I got chills.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
yes,
fine.
from Greece, yes, yes.
I wouldn't have thought until I
Exactly.
did that.
I was like, that was so
That
fun. And you know
works.
what? You don't even see most of the fight. It's like you see the fucking car rocking for a lot of it too.
And that's one of my favorites on
It's
that.
great.
Not to
It was
going
great.
back, so I think we talked music, but actually I want to bring this to the one thing I didn't like about the movie. So
Shitting on a Honda.
yeah, so they
Yeah.
do a good job of like the fights and everything, but like there are times when
They're too good.
Deadpool gets knocked out. He just gets knocked out by a smack to the head, and then there's a time where Wolverine puts 3 blades through his head and he's okay.
It's different nerves.
So I don't like. I had a very big issue with the concept of how they fought each other, and there'd be things that at sometimes it would knock Deadpool out and he wouldn't remember, and then at other times he'd be okay. So like I found that's one thing about the fights with 2 guys that can't die, can't die. I found it made it took away a little bit of the believability.
I don't know, like-
for a superhero movie.
For the knockouts, that's like just a movie thing that someone gets hit on the head. In fact, there's like a whole meme thing about like Louise from Ant-Man, how everyone he fights, he does one punch knockout. Like in that first movie, he punches like guys out left and right. It's like he's not super powered or anything.
And I'll say, to add to that, like
I get it.
I've been recently watching the X-Men animated series, and something that bugs me the hell out of it is like Wolverine would be into so many fights, and he gets knocked out way more than he should be. Like, why is Wolverine like he's a badass?
It's
and
adamantium skull.
they need to like just change. The story doesn't work with Wolverine, so we gotta like knock him out. Okay, that's what it is, and that's what they do so many times in the animated series. I was like, that's kind of. It's a story progression thing. I think that's always one.
I understand it. It just
Yeah.
it bugs me a little bit when they're trying to go so extreme in the fight sequences, and you see Deadpool getting stabbed through the head essentially, and that doesn't knock him out. Like that's the head stuff bugs me a little.
They operate on people while they're conscious. And they do brain surgery.
Yeah, sure.
That's what Wolverine knew what he was doing. He's old enough.
Yeah.
Is there any negative things that you would say, Lewis?
Negative things, like I mean, the Bye 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 I didn't like. Like it is a negative thing for me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the villains were okay, but they weren't great. Like, and I consider there to be 2 villains, both Cassandra and the TSA or
Oh yeah. What the hell?
Can
is
I
his
say
name?
that the TVA or whatever?
The TVA.
Paradox.
Yeah.
Paradox.
Can
Yeah,
I also
that's-
say that the TVA just bugs me in general when it comes to the Marvel universe?
It's never really true.
It's like they had to
about
come
me.
up with this group to explain their whole.
It just hasn't been fully fleshed out in a decent way. I feel like they could still make it work, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'm still giving it like a pass. But
One thing that shocked me was a little bit those sticks that they use. You always thought that they just killed somebody.
You never watched the first season of Loki?
I watched Loki. I just didn't pay attention very well, I guess.
So they do.
I thought it was
Yeah,
I
the
didn't- I
Phantom
didn't
Zone or
think-
whatever it's
yeah,
called.
okay.
Yeah.
No, there you
the
go.
Void.
The Void. Yeah. So
You
and then
shouldn't have to watch an 8-thing series and pay attention to it to
For-
understand the MCU.
Another little
movies.
complaint that I had was
That's a complaint.
it's a little complaint for me, and I know that the reason why this happened is because there was a bunch of like rewrites and script changes and things that had to change. Is when we got the backstory of Wolverine and like why he was the worst Wolverine, and all we saw him was like walking away. You could hear noises in the background, walking away apparently from the Xavier's mansion.
Oh, you didn't save
and all the
everybody.
X-Men
That's
being
why
murdered.
you
They're
didn't
really
save
short.
everybody. That's your like big thing.
No, it's because I didn't really feel the emotion of why he was so bad.
No, that's what I mean though. That's the thing they gave is they're like, oh, he's the worst Wolverine because he didn't save everybody. Oh, come on, that's the fucking
And
thing.
he kept walking when he knew they were getting fucking killed and
But
shit.
and the thing is, in that scene, I don't discount it on this, but it seems like a wasted opportunity. He's walking by a railroad track, and if you've seen like the comic books that, like the kind of referencing,
Oh, yeah, I
that,
know, yeah.
he like wants to punish himself for letting that happen, and he like puts his neck on the railroad track and has a train fucking run over. I'm like, oh, they're gonna show that. He's like,
yeah.
no, he's just walking by a railroad track. It's nothing.
Which, can I say my favorite part of the movie?
Yeah.
Well, so we're on nitpicks. Let's
Okay,
say
yeah,
one
go
other
ahead.
thing.
Well,
like,
Lou's got a lot to say.
Go ahead.
no, you were talking about like the timeline about how he's like the worst Wolverine, and the reason that that universe was dying was because the best Wolverine died.
Yeah.
But
He was the anchor
time,
character or whatever it was.
they have time back and forth. So shouldn't that universe have always been dying?
Let's not get into the logic of
'Cause
that.
I know, exactly.
You
It's
can't
like,
analyze it too
when that character dies,
But-
like, what happened before he was born? Like, did that just not exist?
And he did, yeah.
I know. I think you're overthinking
But
that
all,
one for sure.
all the fucking key, like the whatever
Anchor
they call
beams,
anchor
I think they
beams
call them.
in every universe, they
We're
must
not getting
die.
into that. That's
Exactly.
just we can
I know,
debate
you're
that.
overanalyzing. Come on.
So
Maybe he wasn't supposed
let's,
to in the
Let's get
timeline.
on to the things we like. Like
So
you
my
wanted to say your
favorite,
part.
absolute
I bet
part,
you it's all
favorite part of those
Wolverines.
movies. Okay, yeah, there you go. You said it. All the
Oh, I
Wolverines.
just guessed.
The whole montage of Wolverine. Because I know all those Wolverine versions too. It's like they went to like the accurate Wolverine where he was like 5'3" or whatever he was, and then they went to
laughed
Wolverine,
a lot.
old man Logan, whatever. That was
Yeah,
cool.
he's sitting on the door.
I was hoping they were gonna cut to the
Got
X-Men
hands
First
cut
Class
off.
one where they go up and they're like, "Excuse me, are you Wolverine?" He's like, "Fuck off." You know, just like a
and go watch the older movies.
It's Apocalypse one with his arm cut off.
Yeah, exactly.
The crucified one.
Totally. Or him fighting fucking Hulk. You see like the
Another
Hulk in
cameo.
the reflection of his fucking. Oh, that's an iconic
Henry
logo
Cavill?
for one of the
Brown and
comics.
tan.
Cavill Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine. Yeah.
That one I was like, eh.
That one. It was another one that was spoiled for me. So I was like, okay, I know it's coming.
Oh, I didn't.
Unfortunately.
It was great not having that spoiled.
Yeah.
What about you? Like favorite moment?
Well, I mean, that was probably my favorite.
A lot of people said that
Another
actually.
one.
I want to see a movie of all those Wolverines. Honestly.
Another one I really like that I'm going to put out there is, and it comes up a couple of times, is that I guess the best part's at the end when Wolverine comes out with no shirt on and the gay TVA guy's there. And
Oh yeah, he keeps watching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This guy
That was a
knows,
good
yeah.
subtle one. This guy knows.
Every time he did that though, like I was like, that guy's got the perfect face. All his features were kind of crammed in the middle. And
And he was
Yeah,
just
he's
doing a
just a chubby
good,
guy,
he was doing a good
yeah.
job of being subtle about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that was
well, then he
good.
calls his wife and stuff. Are you calling? I'm calling HR. Your wife works in HR. He was clearly doing that.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I laughed a lot at non-superpower Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like,
He's like
he's got the big namaste,
Deadpool or whatever it's
the
called.
happy Deadpool, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like the whole fucking focus on the dog, with like the dog
Yeah,
licking
dog
him all the
pool
time
was-
and
yeah, it was
everything,
a- yeah.
whatever. But like, so when he first shows up and he comes out, he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And he like has a dog and he's like, "You be careful with this dog, cause I want him." And then all of a sudden, about to have this big fight, and all of a sudden it's like, sorry, there's my dog. And he's like, "Are you kidding? You need to be a more responsible pet owner." And then he does the whole thing where he's like blocking the bullets with him. He's like, "How long does it take you to regenerate?" What?
There's just blood coming.
Just like regenerate. I think my favorite comedic moment is definitely was like, oh, I can tickle the fourth wall too.
I can
Yeah.
gently knock
The-
on the phone.
the proposal.
The proposal.
What the
proposal.
fuck?
Do you think that's what I do?
That's what I do,
What
bitch.
the fuck was that? Bitch,
That was the hardest I laughed in that whole movie. Was that moment right there?
Yeah, that was a
proposal.
very good one. Yeah.
I think that's what I
I
do.
was surprised, a little surprised. Sorry, Lou, did you want to bring it?
No,
yeah,
I was-
okay. I was surprised that there was not as much of the original people from the Deadpools.
Well, that's what I was going to mention.
like the Gupinder, his
No
cab
cable?
driver. No cable.
was
Gupinder.
mentioned. Didn't test
So,
well.
But like even
obviously.
like they had more of what's his name, Peter, than I had of Gupinder.
Well, you had Owl, Blind Owl.
Blind Owl.
You had Colossus,
Colossus, yeah. And then
the biker from
Yeah.
the bar.
Supersonic
Yeah.
Nega Mega.
Yeah.
You know,
Warhead, yeah.
Yuki.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know who was suspiciously absent?
T.J. Miller.
Weasel.
Yeah,
And that's
he
yeah.
fucking didn't
Yeah.
get along. Yeah.
Here's something I was going to throw out.
I don't even
he's
want
a
to say.
dick.
I actually liked T.J. Miller before I heard him
Before,
recently.
yeah.
Another thing we have kind of lined up that we might do at some point for an episode was MCU castings. And this guy came into my mind like, I don't feel that strongly about it, but I want to bring it up here. What would you guys think about recasting that role of Weasel, T.J. Miller's character, with Macaulay Culkin?
I thought you were going to say Seth Green.
I think that works.
I don't know. That's a left turn. I don't know.
I'm just looking at him like he fits.
I enjoy T.J. Miller in that role.
I do too.
I'm not gonna.
I don't think he's coming back.
No, he's definitely not coming back because he said so many bad things. He's being a bitch right now.
I don't know how long we've talked about this, but I want to get this question before I forget.
Macaulay Culkin, I want him to make a return.
Yeah, me too.
Come back.
Come back. We love you.
Is this the last we've seen as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine?
Yes.
And I'm not talking about like a one-off cameo here or there.
I'm not.
Is this the last we've seen of him as Wolverine?
I think so.
I think he will stick around, but he's going to be more of a mentor role. Like he's not going to be doing the action, but with like X-23, which I assume she survived the events. We don't know.
Yeah.
Well, she did. She was
at the end. Yeah, it was a party. Yeah.
But I feel like she's going to be the new Wolverine in the MCU going forward, and he'll be like a mentor role.
So I'm going to throw this out. I would have been on John's side, but I really think he had too much fun doing this thing.
And Disney dumped a load of cash
Disney
on him.
dumped a lot of cash on him. He's gone through that divorce, which they brought up.
That was recent too. That just happened like last year.
So they brought up
That's crazy.
All those things combined, maybe I'm just being hopeful, but I don't think it's the last of.
I think it is. Personally, I love Hugh Jackman, but I personally kind of want the baton to be passed to someone else.
He hates Hugh Jackman.
Another.
That's why you didn't pick him in that fight.
Remind me of another cameo, Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan.
Oh, that was a fucking hilarious. That was a part that I think I laughed at more than everybody else. Was him trying to interview to get into the Avengers.
Oh yeah.
And he's like talking about you're here, kind of thing. He's like, what?
Yeah. So what is fucked up about this movie is the timeline doesn't make any sense because
it's all weird.
It makes no sense because the whole Logan thing happened in like 2025 or something like that, which hasn't happened yet. And then he was
after Avengers. That happened after Avengers.
Yeah, none of it makes sense if you actually do the timeline things. And how do you even get to Happy Hogan's world?
Well, he used the thing that's Cable had, which somehow allowed him to jump.
Possibly, but then that's still not the same like timeline.
But he got rid of it, so how do you get back?
I know. So I mean, if you overthink it, I guess it just breaks down.
It does, yeah. It's definitely got tools.
Honestly, out of all the movies in the MCU, this is the one, if you overthink it the most, it breaks it down. Period.
Yeah.
So, so anyways, I think we're probably getting to the end of this thing here. Give me your grade for this Deadpool and Wolverine, number 3.
If I gotta give it a grade,
unless there's anything else you want to just.
No, I would just say like, for me, this movie was definitely fan service.
Yes,
and
fan service.
It was a great thing, but it was also, I think, a bit of a detriment to it as well too. And that's something I kind of bugged me a little bit. Like a lot of the times he would be like talking to the camera more than I needed to.
Oh, you don't like Deadpool talking
I just
to the
thought
camera?
there was some times I was like, hey, let's just get into the fight already.
You're not like the first one then.
Get into the fight. No, I love it. But he
talks to the camera in that, like lots.
I'm fine with him talking to the camera, but I feel like
you didn't like when he's like,
yeah,
Fox, you can suck it.
That was hilarious.
So you don't like it.
And he fucking smashes it with his head.
I wonder what they were seeing. Like,
no. I'm saying sometimes he would like, oh, look at the camera, and he would like, look, this fight's gonna happen, and he's like, okay, I get it, yes, it's a fight gonna happen, let that fight happen. Yeah. It happened a little too much. I still enjoy it, don't get me wrong, I love the movie.
Hates the fucking movie.
I love the movie.
Okay.
I'm giving it 8.5. 8.5.
8.5. 8.5. I think you're gonna fall.
8.5.
All right.
It's a little too fan servicey.
Yeah.
But
because
8.5 is a terrible review. I know.
Lewis. Okay. I mean, there are flaws to it.
Yes, there are.
No, I don't think enough to drop down to an 8.5.
No, there aren't.
I'm gonna go like more than a whole point above that. I'm saying 9.6. I really liked it. There are, like I said, if you sit there and question it, yeah, you're gonna find flaws. But I think you do that with a lot of movies, right? Yeah. So I try not to think about that too much. And I went along for the ride. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, if I shut my brain off too, I think I'd give it a 10.
You do it all the time. I'm surprised when it's on. Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 9 point. I'm gonna go a full point above 9.5. I mean, there's one thing I will admit. Deadpool can, if you don't like what he does, his comedy can get what feels like either stale, not grating, but stale or like repetitive.
But then it's like, why do you go to Deadpool?
But that's
movie, right?
Deadpool. That's what he's. So what the fuck are you doing watching Deadpool if you don't like those types of jokes? That's what I want to know. Anyways, so 9.5 for me.
Cool. That's awesome. I don't even know what I rated the other ones. I might even rated it fucking wrong according to what I said.
Deadpool too hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I love Deadpool. Lewis loves Deadpool. John likes it.
It was okay.
Where can we find each other to watch our opinions on Deadpool?
Right here for our opinions on Deadpool. Watch it on this channel. This is Wasted Opinions, guys. We did a review on Deadpool 1 and 2. But I am also on another channel. It's called CountryBoy _9 or CountryBoy9.
What's your figure?
What's your figure is the show. I'm CountryBoy9 or CountryBoy9er on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Find me somewhere.
OnlyFans.
I unbox a bunch of toys.
Grind.
Sometimes. Only sometimes, guys.
I'm the LewisLightning. You can find me on YouTube and on Twitch, where I'll be streaming stuff like Astrobot or maybe the Dragon Age Veilguard that's coming out soon, depending when this goes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm MussKeg. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, PSN, and TikTok as MussKeg.
One last question to go out on,
Ooh,
and this is the last cameo that I didn't want to bring up earlier.
Oh, we missed some cameos, didn't we?
Why was Thor crying?
Oh shit! I know exactly why.
That's why it was.
I know why.
You probably saw John CountryBoy's review.
Plot threads. That's why it came down.
You probably saw
The reason why he was crying is because
he saw
and then they cut it out.
CountryBoy's. No, it's because he saw your score of the
he saw my
review of the
dick,
thing.
and he's like,
He saw
I can have a
who can
big
give
dick
this
like
movie
him.
an 8.5.
He wishes I had a big dick like CountryBoy. Oh fuck! What a stupid movie this was, anyways.
Open this up. Yeah.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Was that a big cup of water?
Just sparkling.
Why do
water.
we keep doing this shit and not the fucking
Boiling
peanut
hot
butter
water.
whiskey?
Why can't we?
Because this is like
This is the second time we've done it.
We did 2 and 2.
We
Oh, this is the
we've done
third.
like 3 of these.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well then good.
This is
stuff's
3.
better.
No, it's not.
Wait. We're not doing the shot. We're doing the juice here.
All right.